Can you have her count us in? Can you have her count us in, please? We're ready to go. Good evening. Welcome to the April 15th session of our budget workshops. We are going to largely focus on public works this evening. I'm going to call the meeting to order as we have a full quorum with council members Mackenzie, Karn, Arnold, and Gay at 6:34 p.m. Before we begin, Mr. Hicks, is it possible to get the daily breakdown of these budget worksheets and transaction reports to the public and post that on our website?
Actually, I got a request from one of the citizens, and I told them that they could download it off the website, the budget.
Okay, because what was available earlier was just sort of a rundown of each department and not the detail. But that's up now.
No, I think what we put on the website was a rundown of each department. You're asking for the detail?
I'm asking for what we're seeing, so people can follow along with us as they watch.
Okay, we'll get with the finance department and make it happen.
Appreciate that. All righty. So we will begin with code enforcement. Ms. Walters, if you have anything to say, just feel free to turn on that microphone. Thank you. All right. We will start with page 1. Any questions?
Yes, and good evening to you. It's good to see you.
Good evening.
All right. I'm just looking at line 5010, and I'm sure that we're going to kind of see a few things like this tonight. I saw that we amended the budget for $324,000. We've only spent $72,720 so far this year. But we are still looking at $295. So what actually is happening with our salaries and operating?
Right now, we don't have a fourth code enforcement officer, and we're interviewing for that right now.
Okay.
And Mr. Mosley is, of course, y'all know, he's new, so that position was vacant for a while too. So that's the difference in that.
So basically, you're saying we only spent $72,000 so far this year in salaries for the 5010,
Right.
showing that we are at 72,000. So how many code enforcement persons were being paid? That's the question.
We're paying 4 right now, 3 and a supervisor. So we should have spent more than 82,000.
72, yeah.
We're at 72.
I mean, I have no
It
problem
says
with
82.
Oh,
I have no problem with the amount that we have put for the it was just how did we get to 295,000 for 27 when we are at 72,000 unless we just started hiring staff in the last couple of weeks.
No, unless they were paying out of the inspection budget. It's the only other reason I can see this amount being that low.
Is that what was
Inspections.
going
Oh, that would probably explain.
on? Okay. All right, thank you. That was-
You're welcome.
And also, as a side note, you do not have the ambassadors anymore.
No, that's correct.
Right.
And I was going to ask about that. My understanding was one of the reasons, we wanted the additional ambassadors, but we didn't have space to put them anywhere. That was the basic issue, right?
Well, not only that, it was coming out of my contractual services, which is a lot of other things that I was paying out of that line item. And I was told, too, that it was a liability to have them ride along with the code enforcement officers because we didn't control them. The days that they come and the hours and all of that stuff. And they're not insured. I guess they are with their own insurance, but I checked with risk management, and that's what I was told, that it was a kind of a big liability for them to be riding along with the code enforcement officers.
And riding together doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense. If you're going to have 2 sets of eyes, you want them in different places.
Councilmember, can you make sure
So
you're...
they can see things from different perspectives.
Right.
But city manager, I guess at some point in time, I guess if at some point in time, if any of us do want to ambassadors, maybe they could do that out of their pot.
Or I certainly would like to have a conversation with Wendell and Sabrina about where the fund is going to come from, and then also the logistics as well, if we do get to that point where you want to bring them back.
Right. Okay.
Okay, we do have ambassadors. I know we have something when we look in Public Works.
Yes, ma'am, we do.
Sanitation ambassadors.
Yes,
Okay,
and
so
we're gonna
you're
talk
talking
about that when they
okay.
come.
So, but this 295,000 is going to be enough to cover the salaries that we're going to see on the organization chart.
Correct.
Okay, that's all. I didn't have anything else.
And the code enforcement, I mean, if we do any ambassadors, I don't think everybody even wants them or needs them necessarily, but there are some pockets where perhaps this year, going into the holidays, that we need some extra teeth, and somebody may want a little extra pressure brought on in terms of some of the blight pocket areas and stuff like that. So it may be just something to look at. But like I said, I mean, it'll probably come out of our budget if someone does feel like they need a little extra, somewhere. So just something to think about.
Yeah, I like that approach, taking it out of you all's budget to do that. That's great.
Take it out of his budget.
Yeah, put it on my tab. Hey, the permit waving went pretty good on my tab. That went well. Yeah.
Any additional questions on page 1? Moving on to page 2.
Okay, 52, 61, 70, Sabrina, since you did mention contractual services and you said you were using contractual services money to pay the ambassadors, I believe, but there's nothing showing here in the 26 actual amount under contractual services. So where did that money, and I don't know, maybe you may not know, but I just wanted to kind of see if maybe.
Well, their
it's-
contractual services for the ambassadors was coming out of inspections too. It should have been coming out of code
Okay.
enforcement.
Got
Yeah,
it.
this
Now-
is this is code enforcement.
No
Yeah,
worries,
yeah.
we got it. Okay,
Yeah.
that's it. Thank you. Just want you to know I was listening. I was listening.
Additional questions on page 2. Questions on the budget transaction report, either page.
When are we gonna have inspection?
Sir, can you please turn on your microphone?
Sorry. I don't see,
Inspections on May 6th.
Yeah, inspections is not in this packet.
it's not even.
So I'm gonna hold my mirror.
Additional questions on the budget transaction report. Any questions on the supporting documentation?
Again, I know that we do have quite a few concerns from our citizens when it comes to code enforcement, especially in the area of the short-term rentals. And we really want to enforce that policy in terms of violations. So do we believe that 4 code enforcement officers are going to be able to get that done? Because that is very important to me this year.
Well, if we did, we would need to hire another code enforcement officer full-time, not an ambassador, not anybody that's part-time. That's a full-time job right there. So, and we don't have that 5th person as far as a code enforcement officer in this budget. That's the only way I can see that can get done with everything else that they do.
And approximately what would that amount be to bring on a full-time code enforcement?
I don't even know what that,
Okay, if you want to let us know,
Yeah.
I mean, I know, but I think that's something that we need to be mindful of. The 4 that we have, we're grateful to have you all, but we don't want to overload, but we really want to get attention to, especially your residents who have really been having problems. And that's where we get a lot of the complaints coming out of Ward 4. And I don't have as many in my ward, but I do know that we've got to do something about these split pads, short-term rentals, where people are they're not legal, first of all.
Right.
In the city of College Park, everybody, those people in the back want to know they're not legal. However, when they start causing an issue with parking, trash, loud parties and noise in the street at all types of, we got an issue. So, and I'm looking at even being able to have code enforcement that can work on nights and weekends. So I do want us to revisit this and just see how we can factor that in.
okay.
We've had that in the past where code enforcement has worked on the weekends, certainly. And
I have a question. We were talking about ambassadors, but does it make sense to possibly have part-time code enforcement people to address things like the evenings and the weekends?
I think so. It would be definitely somebody that's suitable that can drive. I mean, we don't need a ride along. So if they can drive a city vehicle and, pass all of everything that's needed, then yes. But
So maybe we might be able to get a couple of part-timers for the price of one full-time person, right? To help address some of these.
So with finance, HR, Sabrina, your team, let's put our heads together and see what that price will look like.
Okay.
Wendell, let's put our heads together.
okay.
And going by that logic, and nothing we're talking about is talking about expanding the budget. We're just talking about if there's something we can work within the numbers we got. But what would
that
be
ain't
the
gonna be
difference
possible.
with an ambassador or a part-timer? I mean,
Well, the ambassador can't drive. Unless they go through the proper filling out the application and all of that stuff.
but in terms of dollar for dollar, it could be roughly the same kind of deal. If we adjust it that way, it could be essentially where they if it's not more money for them to be a part-timer, then maybe they classify as a part-timer.
Well, I guess we would have to look at those numbers too to see what a part-time person would be making, because the ambassadors were making $25 an hour.
So we got to just look at it
Right.
compared to the ambassador, and we'll decide where we want the money to be and what the salary
Okay.
we want it to be, what we want it to be. But it could be, it's apples and apples. So it could be the same thing. The ambassadors could be part-timers if we so wish for them to be that without any extra money, or it could be, vice versa with no extra money. And we set the salaries, the salaries we set them.
I want to make a proposition as well. I think that if we could get the code enforcement officers that we need, whether it's part-time sounds like a good idea. We got to look at the value added, because if we can get these citations issued and we can start getting some fees for the fines that they would be able to write people up with, we have a significant amount of short-term rentals in the city. And if we could now, with our court system that we're improving here to make sure those violations are cited, and I think we should look at it in terms of what it will be able to bring. The additional people, I think they can earn their keep.
Yes, absolutely.
Or code enforcement
Absolutely.
can. So let's start looking at that. I mean, we have an idea of how many short-term rentals we have in this city. And so we just do kind of an average on that and see, and if people get rid of every week, every couple of weeks. And
absolutely.
I know might make some people mad, but you need to check out what the laws are before you open up a business in College Park. So until we can get this right, and that's what step one was for me. Before we started looking at setting up some type of a legal short-term rental, we wanted to go and start at least documenting, citing, and giving people an opportunity to realize that this is not legal.
Right.
So that's what I'd like to do.
This last thing I just touch on. Everybody has some different issues in their areas where they have specific issues. I definitely like to know more of what's going on in my district, in particular. And a lot of this predates you, but when Jerry was here, I knew I knew what was going on every week, every couple of days. I want to hear from somebody, where the hot spots, what's going on out here, where are your warnings, what are your sightings, who's giving you the biggest issues? Is there something we can change legislatively to make your lives easier? So I want to know. I want to hear from my person 2-3 times a week. Hey, just checking in. Hey, here's something I saw. Here's this. Here's that. So I definitely want to know a little bit more of what's going on.
Again, I want to thank you guys for what you do. It's not an easy job. People see you, they start running the other way. But it's necessary, and it's necessary to our community, because what you do ensures our community that we play fair here in the city of College Park. So thank you again.
Question in regard to a part-time code enforcement officers. I know that code enforcement is code enforcement officers are hard to come by. what do you think the likelihood of finding a part-time, someone who's willing to do that work part-time is from a practical perspective?
I think we have a good chance.
Okay.
We do. We have a good chance of doing that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we do.
Have to move them into the city.
I have a clarifying question. You mentioned the ambassadors were making $25 an hour. Was that causing any compression with any of the permanent people?
Well, it wasn't necessarily with the permanent people. It was just that between paying a third party that we're using to do building services versus paying ambassadors to ride along became a problem when it came to being able to say which bill I'm gonna pay, out of the budget. But everything, again, there was no code enforcement separate budget until recently. So everything was coming out of the inspections budget.
Okay.
So to enhance what Councilwoman Arnold's asking, we paid the part-time ambassadors $25 an hour. Did we have any team members that was making around that much?
Or less?
Or less?
I don't know what it would be on the dollar amount. I don't think.
Not in this department.
Okay, we're good.
No.
I think that's what she was asking.
No.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And also, just a FYI, the positions that we're talking about are not budgeted.
Right.
So our expert here has got to find the money
If we entertain the ambassador.
if we entertain it.
Right.
Again, I don't wanna add to this budget. It would have to come probably out of our.
You keep saying hour.
Can you make sure your microphone is, if you're speaking, can you make sure your microphone's on?
Ambassador, they don't have the same ability as code enforcement.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah, they would have to be have to be sworn in, and they would have to go through the same process as a regular code enforcement officer. Yes. Yeah, they don't have that. They might as well be. Yeah.
all right, any other questions on the supporting documentation? Hearing none, we'll move forward to Public Works. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Thank you
your time.
guys for making the accommodation for us. Thank you all.
Y'all three have a good day. And you. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day, including you. Man, you heard.
He loves them, that's all. We just have this relationship. If he doesn't see me in 2 days, he freaks out, and he hasn't seen me in 2 days, so he'll be okay. General humor.
This is your team.
Public Works?
Good evening.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. All right, how you all doing?
To the money seat.
Come on in. What's up, fellas?
Hey.
All right, all this like Johnny Cash walking.
You're unified.
It was not planned, I promise. Just happened.
All right, we will start with Public Works Administration.
All right.
Questions on page 1.
Good evening, Mr. Anderson, Miss Lisa, and everybody that's here. I want to take your attention to 515010. I do have quite a few questions that'll come up, I think, when we go through this budget tonight. I think I have the answer on some of this because I've gone through the entire budget. But I want to ask the question, we just so that the people will understand. In 2026, we amended the budget for Public Works Administration to $93,592, and we've spent $37,000. But you are requesting $286,493 in 2027. I believe I know what that is, but I kind of want you to tell me, Mr. Anderson, is that for additional salaries that we're putting in?
Well, I put Keep College Park under me, as well as facilities.
Okay.
So some that's going to be Ladarian's salary, Buzz Myers, I think Lisa's, and then we had the World Ambassadors too.
Yes.
They're going to be under me as well,
Yes.
so I can facilitate that.
And I want to say I really appreciate you doing that. And so when we get to the supporting documentation and we look at the chart, we'll see that those positions are in there. Okay, that was for clarity. Thank you, sir.
Additional questions on page 1.
How many people you got in this budget? Could you use it?
It's in the backup. The backup.
Okay, I see it here. So, 1, 2, 3.
It's gonna have 8.
I don't think he has anything new.
Okay,
He doesn't have anything new. He's just transferring
gotcha.
people in the department, if you will.
All right.
Additional questions on page 1. Moving to page 2.
6,200. You had 2,800 in there for training. I'm also thinking because you're moving people over, that is going to 9,750. That's the first line under training. I am happy to see that you do put money in for training, because I think that as we look at succession planning and we want to really build public works up and just giving those opportunities to make sure that your staff are getting the training. I really appreciate what you're doing with the internet, the e-cafe, and really making sure that people can take these classes online as well. Right. So that was not really, it's a commendation really to say thank you. I think that was a good move.
Thank you very much.
Additional questions on page 2.
A couple of questions. So how we're looking on vehicles, the trucks and everything in general? I'm talking to you, Mr. Anderson, obviously too, but the whole crew. I know I was out there last year and a half ago, and we had a lot of vehicles just there. We were going to scrap some stuff and make some space, and we needed a couple other vehicles. I know y'all asked for a few things last year that we got you. You got some vehicles or anything in this budget here? Or?
Yeah, I think there was a few requests in other divisions. Okay. And there was a need in the Well Division to have 2 dump trucks. And I think back in 2019, 2 of them got in accidents and they were never amended when they got those trucks. And so I want to see about maybe getting a lease, because they're over $100,000, because they need those trucks. Because right now they're borrowing from Mr. Cotton, and he needs those trucks when it comes time for storm events. And then we get in the deficit. So there was a need for that.
All right, well, right now it's whatever you got in the budget. But I just want to know how if things were getting a little better there for you in terms of clearing out some space and.
Yes, we're trying to get initially the previous drawers here previously he had started the process of moving some things, getting things on gov.deal, and they were moving out. I still want to get those things out of our yard so we can have room.
Okay. All right.
Additional questions on page 2. Moving on to page 3 at 547590. So you made a request for at least 1 vehicle there. What was that? And
That's going to be for Ladarian Nichols, our facilities manager. He needs a vehicle.
okay, so, but that wasn't included. All right. So what's he doing? What's he driving now?
He's driving a vehicle out of Mr. Cotton's fleet temporarily.
Additional questions on page 3?
Just want to, anything else in particular y'all seeing out there that, we might want to be aware of that may not be a big problem now, but 6 months from now, sometimes I just want to, y'all driving these streets every day. Is it anything trending the wrong direction? What's trending the right direction?
Well, currently, someone has a grudge against the bus shelters on Sullivan Road.
Yeah.
And I made a contact with the MARTA administrator, and we've been able to have them go out, and they're going to replace those broken, shattered bus shelters. I see that trending.
Yeah, I saw that's happened like 2-3 times over there, and I think the police department has tried to look at the camera feeds to see if they could see anything. You can see people at the shelter, but I don't know if they could identify when the break occurred. And the MARTA buses have cameras on them as people on board the buses, but I mean, the likely scenario that somebody broke a window and then got on the bus, I don't know how likely that is. But hopefully they're looking at it a little closer now. So yeah, it's not good news.
Moving on to the transaction report. Questions on page 1.
The blower truck, the sucker truck. Do we still just have the one, the big vac, big hose, or do we?
Senator, how many do we have?
I'm sorry.
The vacuum.
Oh, the leaf back truck?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we have two.
So, all right.
We have two of the automated.
Okay, I want to make sure that we're now. Are they able to suck up the gravel that we did with the ice
Oh, that's
storm?
more like the street sweeper.
That's going to be the street sweeper, or our mechanical sweeper.
Okay, I want to make sure there's a few streets we want to make sure we cover and get some of that stuff up before it goes on into the drains or whatever. But we did a great job with the winter storm, but we want to make sure we get those up. We used to have 4 of those trucks at one point years ago, but I don't know how often they're running. I like to see them running more.
Well, the primary operator, he just came back off medical leave. So what he's doing too, he's training 2 other individuals so we can have a robust rotation. And he's currently sweeping the city. Mr. Cotton has a very good program in place, and we started where most of the residual materials were sitting, which is actually your ward. So if you look, you'll probably see us getting that so that we are on top of it. We just gotta find more time to do it.
Okay, so the 2 other trainees, when will they be ready so you can double up the rotation?
Well, as soon as Mr. Cotton and Mr. Hunter make the determination that he feels that they can operate it safely, because those vehicles, although they move slow, you have to be mindful that you don't cause any residual damage to the brooms and to the curb lines and even to the traversing vehicles.
Well, take your time. We don't want to rush them in and tear something up now. I know at one point we had a welder, and they, I think, retired or something, right?
Yes, sir. He retired on January 1 of last year.
Okay, so are we looking to get one back, or is that still in the
Actually-
budget, or?
Oh, yeah, that's part of my budget. Like, I'm gonna get it out now.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
let's
Okay.
hold off on
Yeah,
sanitation.
Okay, all right.
He's on everything.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
So we're going to go back to the budget transaction report. Questions on page 1 of the budget transaction report.
I see you got plumbing. I'm sorry, I'm on 2. Go to 2. Sorry.
Page 2.
Yeah, 5749, plumbing repairs. Is that your main building there, or? That's a small amount, but I was just curious.
See it?
It's next to the last thing there on the first.
Yeah, that's for the public safety building. If you see some of the facilities, expenses are broke out for each building, and that's how we're going to do it for FY27.
Okay, I was just curious about that.
Additional questions on page 2.
Yes, line 100, 4,000, 52, 6,200, under training, Public Works Citizens Academy. Have we done that before?
No, let's brought it
I
up.
wanted to bring it up.
Okay. No, what I wanted to do, the vision I had for that was I wanted to select 5 residents for each ward initially, 20 residents, and I budgeted for $75 for each one. And I want to bring them in the whole week. We take them out in the field, let them follow the teams. Afterwards, they come back in, we feed them lunch, and we give them a PowerPoint about what they saw. And at the end, we give them a certificate of graduation, and we give them a nice polo-style shirt. They said that I was a graduate of the Polo Works Academy. It does 3 things. 1, it let them know who we are, what we're doing, and what we're up against. They get a bird's eye view, and I hope that it's successful, that others want to join. So I'm very excited about that if this goes through.
Great idea.
Well, I saw that, I didn't want to pass it, and I just appreciate, I know we still got a lot more going, Mr. Anderson. I appreciate what you've been bringing to this department. You got the greatest team, as I've already told you this over and over again. And people wonder, why, Jamel, why do you always want to tell people that you appreciate them, put in this, first of all, people need to be told. You know, a lot of the work that we do is thankless, and you guys work really, really hard. And on top of that, I'm a little emotional tonight, and I'm trying to hold myself together. I lost my 6-year-old nephew this morning. He'd been sick with cancer for 4 years, since he was 2 years old, but he kept, they took him through chemo. He came back, but each time it came back worse. And so my feeling is, this is the way I'm going to live my life. If there's something good that you can tell somebody, if you can give somebody a flower while they can still smell it, I'm giving them. So y'all, I'm just going to get on your nerves, because when I see you doing something that I appreciate, I want everybody to know. And this is the best team. I mean, all of our services are, but our public works team, y'all rock, y'all roll. You go beyond the call of duty every single day. And you're bringing this innovation to us. You're involving our citizens. I'm going to have 5 citizens in my ward that are going to know public works better because of this academy that you're putting together. So I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. Life isn't promised. Tomorrow's not promised. So let's love on each other today.
I also want to break some of the myth about public workers that we just stand around with a shovel in our hands. I want them to see really what we do. So that's another reason too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Additional questions on page 2.
Last thing I'll just say, I appreciate you as well, Mr. Anderson. I always said dollar for dollar in terms of sweat equity. Y'all pretty much the hardest working department in the city. I used to cut grass when I was younger, and what y'all do goes way beyond all of that. I mean, that's some hard work. And you ever done any radio? Man, you got a radio voice. Sound like Barry White.
Yes, sir.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
15 years.
Get out of here.
Any additional questions on page 2? Moving on to page 3. Moving on to the supporting documentation. Any questions on the supporting documentation? On to buildings and grounds. What you need?
One thing I was remiss, I did not account in the budget for the Cape Cod Park Beautiful Board of Commissioners, and they get a stipend, and I did not include that and that's going to be $9,000, and I did not include that, so I'm sorry, sir, and there's oversight on my part.
So, Mr. Hicks, we got to do it. I advocated for this, and they are out on the streets working for us. We've got to make sure they get their stipends.
So what Mr. Anderson forgot to tell you that he and I had already discussed it earlier.
Okay.
And the answer is yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And are we amenable to as well to having like a small budget for Keep College Park Beautiful, which is Mrs. Frances Kennedy as well, because she had no budget, and for the last two or 3 years, she'd be able to secure grants because she knew how to do grants. And today she got a $5,000 grant. So I was looking to maybe get maybe $5,000 to kind of see. Mr. Hicks, to see $5,000, some a small amount.
Yeah, let's talk about that one. This one, it's a new one you're springing on me. But the 9,000 we talked about.
Yes, it's a new one. I'm sorry, but then I thought about it. I just didn't do it because I really wanted to make sure that I wanted to see honestly, what was the direction that the council and you was going. But I see you fully committed to keep College Park beautiful. But I had to see that first, so I'm not trying to spring on you, sir. I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah, we're going to take care of Ms. Kennedy. We'll get together on it.
Thank you on that. I appreciate it.
Okay, I'm going to make sure. I'm going to remind you. Because Miss Kennedy and I are going to talk too. And I see all you do, Miss Kennedy. Thank you again. Thank you so much.
Ryan, you got that
All
radio
right.
voice working?
Buildings and grounds.
The same as everybody else.
The same amount of money per meeting,
My name is Carlton Newton, Superintendent for Buildings and Grounds.
Good evening, Mr. Newton. Questions on page 1 of the buildings and grounds budget.
Carlton, how many folks in this one, this budget?
You said how many
How many folks you got in your,
in it on my team?
yes,
Okay. Let me just get my chart here.
okay, I see it. Okay. About 16. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Okay,
About 16, sir.
okay. Any vacancies?
Yes, I have some vacancies right now that I'm in the process of still interviewing for labor ones. And I would like to speak on that I need a supervisor position. My chart is incorrect.
Yeah, that requires a sidebar.
Okay.
Called.
All right.
All right, so we're on page 1. Questions on page 1?
Well, the two, you got a couple coming on, you said?
Labor ones, I have to interview that I'm in the process of interviewing right now. So I need at least 3 more.
But those are budget.
Yes, sir. Those aren't new positions. Those are just
I'm just asking, those high seasons coming, and,
yeah.
get them on before, by May?
Yes. Those positions, even though they are considered labor ones positions, they are still skilled labor ones. Yeah, I know a lot of people think that just because they cut grass that they can cut doing commercial work, but that is a skilled position. So we need to look at that as.
So the supervisor position that you referred to earlier, that is a budgeted position.
The supervisor position is
budget.
already a position that I have.
Okay, yeah, then we can certainly move forward with that, sir.
It was missing from the chart. It's not on the chart.
Oh, yeah.
It's in the budget.
Then Carlton, I stand corrected. We can move forward with that.
Yeah.
Sure, if you got a budget, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, I do, did you call the page yet?
Page 1. We're still on
Okay.
page 1.
Yes, I want to look at the totals for 5195 expenses under, I guess it's not,
I'm sorry, what line item?
Yeah, 51.
yeah, let's look at 50. I'm just trying to figure out where the issue, it's a couple of lines here for 50, 10, 50. I want to look at the total for personnel services total, so it's really not a line item. I guess the concern is that we have spent $719,000 to date and $31 for these salaries for 50, 10, 50, 20, 50, 30, 50, 40, 50, 60, 50, 90, and 5,200. We're looking at $719,000 now. But we have only approved 710 for all of 2027, and we haven't finished out 20. Were there some changes? Did we transfer some positions out? I'm just trying to understand how, if we have not, we're still in, this is probably numbers up until the end of March. So we're still looking at up to March. We've expended $719,000 in this category.
I think I might share just a little bit, right?
Okay.
Because initially, now that we're taking over Parks Department, which is GO 6200, those I think 5 or 6 staffers were counted in this number. They now have segued over to Parks with Samuel Nams. So that's why it's probably a reduction in that number, because now they're under the Parks. That's probably what you're looking at, Councilman.
That's what I was expecting. I just need you to say it.
I didn't want to speak on it
As we
because
go through it,
it's a different department, so I wanted to
Right.
let that come up on its
Yeah,
own.
yeah. I think and actually I wrote down when did the transfer occur of because like I said, I studied the budget, but we have people that are looking and they're going through this with us, maybe line by line. Want them to understand that 719,000 that we have expended this year, we're probably gonna make it to close to $900,000 by the time we pay out. But starting July, this is when starting July the departments will be in a new, meaning when are we moving parks? The people.
It actually has started already.
Okay.
It's just that this is part of what you see the differential on what is budgeted and what the actual is.
Okay.
Because the actual initially had all those other employees in that number.
And that was at 885,000?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Additional questions on page 1?
About how many employees, so I'm looking at the line 40. How many employees you got living in the city, would you say, out of your? 54. Is that right? Yeah, employee utility credit?
I think
Yeah, two.
in my department, I think I got.
Yeah, it looks like you only have two, Carlton,
Yeah,
because they get $2,400.
yeah. I can't think of the other employees.
I wanna, I'd like to see whatever it is we can do to get more folks to move in. This is very important at the end of the day. I mean, look, the job that y'all do, I don't know if people realize how valuable the curb appeal is to other things that happen. I mean, it'll increase the property values, your tenant retention. A tenant will stay in an area longer if it's nicer in terms of that business staying in College Park, man. And it's just so important, boost the rentals rates as well. It just makes. I mean, it's really not just about. It's a big part of the economy, man. How we're looking out here.
Yeah.
So I don't have to tell you that. You've been here.
Yeah, I think those employees were living in the city already, so it was kind of like easy.
We can get some more in. I mean, that'd be really great if y'all can encourage that.
Yeah.
We got a lot of apartments going up, and we got some renovating, fixing up. So we want to try to push that as much as we can. I mean, just the gas savings and the utility credit, it's worth a lot, and a lot of folks may not know the value of that. And the younger folks, the time value, 2 blocks away.
Yes.
The older you get, that time value factors in a little different than money.
Right.
So just y'all want to really try to encourage that.
Oh,
I just think that's really important.
Okay.
Additional questions on page 1? Moving to page 2. And 3 for that matter, because that's just totals. On to the budget transaction report, page 1.
Yes. 5195, 52, 5780. I got really excited when I looked at the transaction report, Carlton, because you guys got a lot of great things going on. I really appreciate it. The annual flower pots and planting in our city right of ways, it really makes it, what Councilman Carn was saying. This is what a beautiful city, when your city looks beautiful, people appreciate their city.
Yes.
And so and of course we have keep College Park beautiful in that category. And I was also excited about the tree replacement, that we will continue to do some tree replacements. We losing so many trees with this weather, they're just old and they're in bad shape. And, but we don't want to lose trees without replacing them. So,
Correct.
and then down to 100, 5195, 52, 6170. The detention pond compliance, I was really happy to see that. We've got some in our neighborhood. And then this is what really got me excited. You're going to replace the historical signs for us this year. So, we're going to definitely we're glad about that because we did want to get those signs. And again, the tree removal at city right-of-ways, which is really important because it
Yes.
blocks our view. It's so these are things that are beautifying our city, but it's also helping to keep us safe. So
Yes, yes.
just wanted to say we really appreciate the work
Yes,
that you
well,
do.
like I would like to say that we started on East Main, so our next move is to start on West Main.
Okay.
I mean, we start on West Main, so start on East Main next. And I would like to say if you guys have any ideas of landscaping that you want to have in your wards, you can increase my ground budget and that'll help.
Well, we also, you know, in my community enhancement, there's some things that I want you all to continue to do. I really want to thank the Public Works team. I thank every single person that's going to sit in that seat today, because even with the pressure washing last week, we needed to have some city properties pressure washed, and you guys got right on that. And service with a smile. And we just thank you so much.
So,
yes.
question, Madam Mayor, Carlton Bryan, 526130. It grieves me to know that we're gonna have to move that money if it's used for bereavement.
Is it Public Works Week or is it bereavement?
It says Public Work Week.
I mean, it says both.
bereavement.
So yeah, I know. I see.
Not the reason is.
Yes, it has both in there.
Right.
What line are we at?
526130.
6130.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going back.
It's on page one.
Right here, right here.
I think previous was Mr.
Previously, Mr. City Manager Hicks, I think maybe it was both, maybe in the past, and they just combined the two. So we just got to make a decision how much you want to keep for Public Works Week and take the bereavement part out. So if you want to advise us on that, that'd be great.
Can I interject? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, again, I'm troubled because we've got to go through this when you've got money in here to help the employees. But let's just take the bereavement out
Okay.
and leave it for Public Works Week.
And leave the same amount there.
For
Yes,
Public
sir.
Works Week.
I'd like
Can we
to
circle back?
request
Wait,
that-
hold on one second. Can we circle back
I was
on the?
speaking.
Hold. I was. Give me
ahead,
just
go ahead.
thanks. Can we find out how much was spent on Public Works Week, and then just get with Cynthia and take it down to that number? So
Sure, I can find out.
yeah.
I can find out.
Or as city manager, I may want to do the increase to keep it at 1,500. But we'll take a look at it.
Okay.
I wanted to say piggyback to when we first started with this, when we were looking at one of our first meetings. The bereavement fund, those funds can be still set aside for bereavement, but they would need to be given to a nonprofit, an organization. So I still think that we need to be looking out for the persons in our city that work for our city that I'm dealing with loss right now. So the city can't even send me any flowers. Okay, I'm okay with it. But the point is that it does something for your heart and your soul when your city can say, we care. We're with you in this moment of mourning and sadness. Where is the human touch in College Park? So what I'm suggesting is that in this line that we still look at, we can take the lines from the different departments that may have put together bereavement and put that into a fund that will go to a nonprofit that will work with our chaplains organization and human resources to make sure that when we find out that somebody has passed, it is not a violation of the gratuities clause to contract with a nonprofit to do, and I've gone through legal on this, that we can do that. So I don't want to see us taking away services because something that we have done for all of the history of College Park is being challenged. Where there's a will, there's a way, and I am not going to stand for us removing needed services of care for our residents if there's a way that we can do it, Mr. Hicks.
Okay, noted. Thank you.
Moving on to page 2.
So, Madam Mayor, before we go finish page 2, Mayor Council, if you all have a nonprofit that would be ideal for us to do that with, so please email the city manager's office. Let me take a look at all of them. Okay, email it to me.
And we've been talking around doing this, some kind of a College Park non-profit.
The court reporter cannot hear you.
We've been talking around some kind of a College Park non-profit.
Sure.
I mean, this isn't just, folks working in a paycheck. I mean, it's a family at the end of the day. We are people, and we all have loss and stuff we're dealing with. And, you spend a huge chunk of your lives, here, and this is serious. We people first.
Yeah, just send those to me. Thank you.
And of course, I'm still back to the fact that when you have someone that works for you for 15 or 20 years and they are not making enough income to be able to bury a loved one, that is the true tragedy. It's unacceptable. So absolutely, we're going to make sure that we partner with a nonprofit for this, because we can't treat our employees like that.
Yes, ma'am. We're going to try to fix most, if not all, of these issues with the comp study. The comp study is going to look at where people are and make the adjustments.
So we've kind of mentioned three things: comp study,
Partner with a
a
nonprofit.
nonprofit, but also the College Park Foundation. If the city can also form a foundation from the outside group, and we'll get into that too, because that becomes a way. I work with companies all the time that want to give to the city of College Park, so this becomes a way.
Any questions on the supporting documentation? Moving to parks. Questions on page 1.
All right, thank y'all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nelms.
All right, great job.
Sorry, I said, I'm Newton. Got Nelms coming, Newton leaving. I'm sorry. I said, thank you, Mr. Nelms, and I was like, I've got Newton going and Nelms leaving. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know.
That verse is too cold.
Samuel Nelms, Park Supervisor.
Questions on page 1.
So again, 51, 50, 10, this is where we are now transferring funds into, well, I just noticed that we didn't have any money at all in this budget or the last budget. So is this where we are looking at the salaries for the park attendants, since you all are now taking on parks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because this particular GL account lay dormant for years, and then Mr. Hicks, through his guidance, he went ahead and had it resurrected, and so we were able to do this. I'm very happy about this.
Okay, so
Yes.
basically what we're looking at is an account that was not in use. That's why it has a zero
Yes.
last year, zero so far.
Correct.
And we now are funding that
Yes.
for the Parks Department.
Yes.
Thank you.
And one
Yeah, we need it, right?
And one of the things that we did, I thought was magnanimous, was that we took the way Carlton and Sam was already doing it. They already segregated some of the maintenance teams even before we were able to take this, so we didn't have to ask for no positions. We just segued all of the general fund employees over to Sam, and we just continue without any breaking action. So, but anything's subject to change, so we should be okay for a while.
So as a side note, I mean, I have to give kudos to the team here. I mean, the experts are to my left, finance director, budget analyst, and also Rodriguez in the back, so.
Great job. Thank you, Miss Cynthia. Amen.
Questions on page 1?
Yeah, I also want to say I'm excited that we're going to have 12 people working in this department now as well with that amount of money. So a lot of it's part-time though.
So yeah, a lot of it is part-time. 6 months out of the year, you'll have 6 park attendants. Now, I remember you all saying that you all wanted the bathrooms to be open.
Yes.
So for that to be able to happen, we would have to have at least a couple of them all year, because it's impossible for the mowing crews to mow and beautify and do things and then have to leave to go clean a park restroom. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It takes one person to mess up a bathroom, just one. So, so for that to happen, that would require at least 2 of the 6 to be part-time all year.
All year round. And
That's the only way.
And that is in this budget.
It was requested, but it's not.
It's not.
The documentation I do currently have, but I don't know if it was approved or denied, but me and Brian did go over it, and the funds are currently there for that all year.
The funds are there, meaning are we seeing them in this number
We see them.
to be able to have?
We
Okay,
we
Mr.
do see it.
Hicks,
So-
here- So
If
we
we scroll
have
down
the money.
to the organizational chart, you'll see they're in there.
Right, but we have the money to have at least 2 of those park attendants
all year.
all year round.
Yes, we do.
If you
It's
look
just
at the-
I
not.
wanted to just make sure.
Yeah.
The org
it's-
chart indicates that.
Yes. Does it?
No.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Doesn't.
When we get to it,
Okay.
it doesn't. That's where we wanted to just verify and make sure that I said I would say something tonight. Yeah. I want to make sure that we understand that even though it's not there, that this amount of money for salaries includes 2 part-timers full-time, not full-time, but all year.
Full-time, part-time, yeah.
And we definitely need it.
Yeah.
Additional questions on page 1? Moving to page 2.
I see janitorial supplies, top of the line here. If they're moving to year round, 2 of them will be year round, the other 4 will still be seasonal.
Correct.
There's gonna be enough supplies since you're gonna have them in at all times.
I believe so. We buy concentrated everything for the most part. We just dilute with water, but also in the spring and summer is more so the high traffic, times. Fall and winter kind of slows down a little bit. But yeah, we'll be able to cover that.
Y'all got some contingencies somewhere.
Yeah, we also have lubricants and chemicals too. You know what I mean? So it could be covered.
Additional questions on page 2? Moving on to the transaction report, page 1. Moving on to page 2.
Hey, Brian,
Yes, sir.
which one of your budgets was Mr. Hunter in?
He's in the,
In the streets of Stormwater.
Okay.
highways and streets, yes.
Moving on to page 3. Questions on the supporting documentation?
So basically, when we look at the organizational chart, Sam, when we look at those 6 park attendants, because we don't have any breakdown that tells us what the salaries are, how this, that 460 whatever thousand is going to be, but there, somewhere you all have it broken down that 2 of those positions are going to be year round.
I have it right here.
Okay.
Would
See,
you like
we
to
don't
see
have
it?
it in the packet, but.
Yeah, it was supposed to be. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
It was sent, but in regards to the organizational chart, so it'd be the park attendants. It'd be 4 of those seasonal for 6 months from April 5th through October 31st. And then the other 2 will be part-time all year, which is part-time, full-time is what we call it.
Okay.
But also, if you look at the labor 2, it says 2, but it's really supposed to be 3. So that was a typo.
Okay. But the main thing is that the bottom line in terms of the expenditure for salaries,
Is
that
budgeted.
number's right.
Is budgeted,
Okay, because
correct.
we can fix the rest of it. We just needed to know. Mr. Hicks needs to know, we need to make sure that we're not asking for any more money.
Thank you, because we certainly went over this with Brian and his team. So I think we got it right. The only area it should be the labor two numbers are not correct.
Right.
Right.
And Mr. Anderson, I know, I asked another department here, I asked Krista about this. I wanted to see out of all of your divisions, how many folks you had that were slightly under 20 an hour. I believe it's a small number, I would imagine. I know, Krista, you said it was very small number citywide. But at some point, I'd just like to see that.
I'm actually glad that you brought that up, because right now we have a couple of positions that are posted on for employment, and it was like a part-time position was paying. I can't remember whether or not if it's what department it was in. Maybe the GICC. I might be wrong, but the part-time position was paying $25 an hour, but then the regular full-time position was starting at $19.50 an hour, right? And so we definitely need to look at that because it's very confusing.
Brian, let's take a look on the job posting and see exactly what that is.
Okay.
If it lands in your domain, then we take a look at that. But
Yeah, I can take a look.
let's take a look and see what.
I'll see, but I don't think so. But I'll double check.
And
Nice.
the city manager, well, 12.
Number is 12.
Okay.
12 that's under.
People that's under.
Citywide? Well, in that department.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm not the city manager's budget. We ain't going over the budget, but we're working on some stuff, and hopefully you come up with something. And Chris, well, that's one thing we talked about also with the salaries, with the advertisements. A lot of the times, it's hard to get people interested, and if you sometimes the advertisements, I see a base salary. Sometimes there's a range, but my suggestion, city manager, was maybe some of these salaries where the salary says up to X amount. Because at the end of the day, the base, you start there, and depending on the experience, that makes a difference in the offer, right?
You said
Sometimes when you start at the base, the experience makes the difference in terms of what the offer is. I mean, you got a minimum,
yes, sir.
right? Well, the thought was, we want to bring in as many folks and make it as attractive as possible. Legally speaking, can a job advertisement say up to this amount and bring more folks in the door? They may not be qualified to get the max, obviously, or mid to up to, or something from where it looks a little more appealing. Because depending on who applies, they could be anywhere within there. But if they see one number that's low, they're gonna say, moving on.
We usually try to put the range from the minimum to the mid. We don't put minimum to the max because most people are gonna ask for the max and we're not gonna hire past the mid.
Right.
So that's why we put minimum to mid on all the
Okay.
announcements.
So so mid to high wouldn't be advisable.
No.
Okay. All right.
Mayor Pro Tem, one of the things, it might not happen no time soon, one of the things I do want to do eventually is I want to rename our job titles. They're very redundant and they're not accurate. Labor 1, Labor 2, that's not it. And I did send Krista my recommendations. I know she has a lot going on, but I talked with her about it. Just quickly, for example, you take in the water sewer, there should be utilities workers 1, 2, and 3. Each one requires a different qualification, and those should be adjusted not only for the salary, but for the skill set, and it lends itself to the very thing you're talking about, sir. So that would be, but we need to break that out because right now we just been placed in labor 1, labor 2. If you're saying that, I can go grab a guy off the street and bring him in based on that ideology. But we have skilled employees, and I want that to reflect in the name, in the title, and the pay. And that's for all our. Yes, we talked about it, but I want you to understand that I'm just concurring with what you're saying, that I do want to go down that road. Maybe maybe not in the near future, but I want that to happen. I think it should be fair to employees, and plus it will lend itself to succession planning, because I'm going to have all this experience walk out this door in the next 1 to 3 years. I'm talking about over 200 years of experience going to be leaving me in the next 1 to 3 years, possibly. I have to build this bench up. I don't have a choice. And I need your support in this. It's not necessarily about money, but it's about making it right. And it look right and it sound right. Okay?
So, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, I know that we have this, the salary study that's coming up. And not so much about the money, but I understand that the titles, the actual job descriptions and the titles need to also be addressed. Is the salary study going to also look at the titles that we have assigned to these positions?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, I was going to answer that. Great minds.
Additional questions on the supporting documentation. Thank you, Mr. Nelms.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
your
Sam.
time.
We appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all too.
All right. And congratulations are in store. Congratulations, Sam, as well, because you're in a new position. And we just want to say, yeah, thank you.
Congratulations. Mr. Hand. Moving on to sanitation.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Cedric.
Cedric Hand, Superintendent of Sanitation, and I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. It's going to hit me when I get home. I've been running all day. I'm just hanging in here.
Questions on page 1?
Yes, I do have a question, but I'm looking at our sales, 4,300, that section for revenue. Do we anticipate bringing in $1.3 million in the fourth quarter? Basically, when you look at the total for okay, so basically 34, 41, 10. And I don't know, this may not be a question for you all. This might be for, I don't know who would, this is for sanitation, 4,300. Okay, so we have amended budget of $2 million for 4110. We have an amended budget of 4112 of 2 million. But anyway, make a long story short, when you look at those numbers for the sales to residential, commercial, convention center, and other city sales, we've only generated $2.8 million in revenue. Not bad, because I'm just wondering, is it with the warmer months we're going to anticipate? I mean, what changes with this for sanitation?
It's usually a pretty consistent number. It's usually a pretty consistent number with the residential. That's why it's not making sense to me. But like commercial might fluctuate, but not that much. So like nothing changed. Like as far as business, we lost a couple of apartments, but I don't think like that'll be like that significant of an amount. Like that'll be something to look into.
Okay, well, you may end up with some savings on, well, no, it wouldn't be savings because that's a lack of revenue. But that was my concern with $4.2 million budgeted for 2027, looking at the fact that we did 3.9 million in 2025, but we may not make it to, we're going to have to bring in another $1.3 million in the next 3 months to get there. So that just may be something we need to reevaluate.
Mr. Hand, is there any lag in the reporting of revenue?
No, that part I can't speak on. I don't know, but yeah, it could be like lag, but like as far as that, like I don't think it'll be like 3-4 months behind. Like as far as the numbers, like that's how far to be behind, like right now. But yeah,
Well, I mean, it's on the residential and commercial, we're at 69%. So, I mean, if this was run on April 1st.
Yeah,
So
that
we're
makes
not
sense.
trending that far behind. Like we should be at 75% as opposed to 69%.
Yeah, the main one is
So I'm
sale to
just wondering.
convention center. Yeah, like the main drop is sale to convention center. I see.
But that's still not a huge portion.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Agreed.
I just don't want us to anticipate more funds that we might receive, and then that causes a shortage for us.
Makes
So
sense.
just kind of, we might want to look back at that.
Are we still at $21 a month? Is that right now? Or?
Yeah, I believe it went over a slight increase recently, but yeah, it's right in that same area.
22.
Yes, sir. I want to say like 2250. Yeah, 2250.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
A lot of stuff, the senior tax exemption, which eliminates the taxes, property taxes for seniors, is going to be a driver with the senior surge. And I guess the good news is that if more seniors are coming into the city, younger people, they drive more consumption-based waste. So they're going to put more in, just FYI about that. Even though we're a young city.
Oh, yes, sir.
We may be getting a little older, so just something to look at down the road.
But aren't these figures based on what people are paying on their bill for?
Yes, ma'am.
So if they bring more waste, it's still going to be the same flat rate. So it's not on how much we collect, it's based on how many homes we have where they're paying for trash, for pickup. So the only way I could see that would change is we get more people living in the city and more residences.
I have a question
Yes, ma'am.
was mostly for the finance director, just to verify, because it's a strong possibility, being that it is only at 68% total, that we may still be waiting on revenues to come in. Ms. Hammond?
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm just asking in reference to the total amount of revenues. Are we still waiting for revenues to come in for this fund?
Very likely we are. I'm sure there are some delinquent accounts, so those accounts are not going to be in that number.
But we're only at 68%. So could this truly be a timing issue?
Yes, it can be.
Okay. I'll believe that.
Yeah, I'm hoping it is.
And I'm sure that if we run an accurate report now, it's probably above 75% or right at 75%.
The reason that I asked this is because where we're at right now is pretty much where we're looking at going this year, what we did last year. Last year we did 3.9 million. And at this rate, that is $962,000 a quarter. And $962,000 a quarter is what's gotten us to 2.88. So you add on another 962,000, you're going to be almost at about 3.8 million. So, which is closer to last year's number. So we might be over expecting, and because we're by about $400,000. And I think we just need to take that into consideration. It's definitely 300,000. The rate we're going, if we do another 962, we'll only be at 3.8 million in revenue. So.
Got a question on line 344130. And Mr. Anderson, this is actually a broader question in regard to recycling. I know that lots of residents have questions about that. Mr. Hand as well, both of you. I know that you had said you were going to take a look into how we were doing recycling, and I was wondering if you had an opportunity to follow up, because even the amounts that we're looking at for the sales from recycled material are pretty darn low. What are you seeing in that field, and where do you see our program in particular going?
The residents that currently use the two locations we have quite a bit. And so Cedric did get a quote on like recycling equipment, and then he did get, if I'm not mistaken, I got to go back and look at my records. He did get some costs from private contractors, whatever costs, and it's very expensive. And if you're going to do the recycling where you're going to have curbside service, that's a commitment financially. And I'm not saying that the residents or College Park cannot support that type of initiative, but it's very expensive. Because right now on the surface, it seems that there is a lot of recycling going on, but I don't know if we could do curbside and justify it. That's the only thing I'm concerned about, doing curbside, because the equipment to do it effectively, and you want to have, just like we want to have universal garbage cans, you want to have universal garbage cans for recycling. You want to have that, because if not, you're going to have the staff bending down, getting a plethora of all these little small things, and so that's what I'm talking about. I think it's a good idea, but it's going to come down to how much of a commitment do College Park want to make in this arena. So allow me to get all my numbers together, everything together, the cost analysis, and then I can turn it over to Mr. Hicks, and then you can look at it. But I'm just putting it together carefully. Okay.
Understood.
Okay.
Mr. Hand?
Yes, ma'am. Recycling, we don't get paid for. The numbers you see right here are like old cans that we recycle and stuff like that we have in the city. And so like those numbers come from that, but we don't get paid for recycling. When we take recycling down single stream, the only like benefit to the city is that we don't get charged per tonnage for dropping it.
Right.
Yeah, so like we don't accumulate income from recycling besides like the stuff that we recycle. Yes, sir.
On recycling, what did y'all decide about the gate for moving the recycles? Are y'all gonna try and open it up are y'all gonna try and manually open it, or y'all
It's inside my contract to sir.
You did put a gate in there?
Yeah, but sir, yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
You brought up a point that I'm glad you did, because I didn't make a note of that. We talked about unified trash cans, where that's not included in this budget, I don't think. And that's a direction I'd like to see us move in, where we have the same, I don't know if it would be something where I don't know if it's something that maybe residents may want to, we put on the bill. But from what I'm seeing right now, one of the issues is that you have all these different size trash cans, and sometimes people are throwing bags out on the curb, and that ends up with more litter, and for the coyotes and the strays, dogs, animals, that is, cats and possums and everything else. So where are we at with that?
The Universal Trash Can Initiative, that was like something that was like near and dear to me, like when I was working on my budget. Like we're the only city like in the metro area that don't provide trash cans. And like not even that, but like my guys on a daily basis, when they go out, if a trash can don't have a bar for it's compatible with the truck, they gotta lift it. Like it's raining, like now we can go from 30, 40 seconds a can to like 7 seconds a stop if we get like the universal trash cans. And then we can like also use it as an opportunity for like advertisement. We can like get it the color you want. You can put like the heat seal of the city, like, you know, like have a phone number for like people can contact Public Works, anything like that. Like the benefits of it like far outweigh like for my guys. Like I got guys who've been here 20 years pulling. Like, you know, like I can't ask them to do the same thing they did 15 years ago. Like go out there, like, you know, just go get it. Like make it happen. You know, like if we got mechanical advantages in place, I just feel like that we should like just try to like employ some of them. Like, you know, like we're not gonna try to go full one-arm truck and just like go like all out right quick. But like everything I asked for like inside the budget, it all ties in like to a modernization. Like to like when my guys can like just go out there and like we know what's a trash can. On a daily basis, we go to a house, we might have to pick up trash. We don't know what's trash. Like we get calls, we got numerous claims on like with like risk management about like we took something that wasn't trash, but it's sitting beside a trash can or it's on top of a trash can. Like, you know, like that's a whole different issue. But like this right here will mitigate so many issues, like as far as like my people like physical, like just physical labor, and then like just for like liability on the city. Like, you know, like you'll know what's trash. And then like as far as like residential revenue, we'll be able to like to charge. Like now people can just put out whatever and say it's trash. Like we gotta get it. Like, you know, like but if you got cans, you can define what's trash. Like now you gotta get an extra can, like pay $10 extra a month, like for an extra can. You want 2 cans at your house, we can do stuff like that. But we gotta be able to establish like a clear demeanor, like what's trash and what's not trash. And like for my guys can like know what their job is on the daily because it's always changing.
So question, approximately, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm going to ask the question and you'll tell me later. Approximately how many, this is mainly for residential because when we go into the apartment communities, they're using the dumpsters. So approximately how many residential properties are we picking up trash?
It's 2,500 single family homes in College Park. a number I'm a vacant, but I was gonna like ask for 2,600 cans because some people probably want more than one can, and then I can have some on staff like just in case anything happen, you know, like so we won't have to wait till I get like lead times from like somewhere else to get them back. So I just want to have like 100 extra on file, like if anybody like need an extra can and want to like just pay for an extra can so they can have extra service at their house, or you know if anything happened then we'll just have them on staff. But 2,500 is the actual number that we would need.
So
And it's at $61 a cart.
that's what I was going to ask you.
$61.
It's at $61 a cart, and like it's actually like $58 a cart, but with the heat seal for the city, and then like the landing because they're gonna bring them out, and they're gonna put an RFID on each can so we can like put the can to the house, so people just can't come.
Did you
by
put it in this
can.
budget?
Yes, sir, but it was removed.
Let's do it.
Yeah, 60, okay, let me go back to the number again. 2,600, okay, 2,600, the 61 includes the seal or do
Yeah,
we?
yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Like it's $58 a cart, and then he just added like $3-4 for like the landing and the seal.
$158,600, that's what it would cost.
Yes, ma'am.
For those. Now, my thought would be that if the city's providing this for households, that we would provide each household with one. If a person wanted an additional, then they could pay that 61
And then,
themselves.
like-
That makes it fair, because
Yes,
otherwise you can't say, oh, you get two and you get one.
Yeah. So like that comes in like then like we have to like explore like different like pricing things and stuff like that. I guess with like legal and you guys, and then like see how we proceed with that.
We could retail those extra ones, the second one you're saying.
Yes. Also,
Rental,
I just want to say this. However, you all as a council decide to do this, that's fine. But just know where I come from. There was a fee that we paid monthly for that garbage can. Don't matter if you had one or two, you pay the fee for it. Now it was a nominal fee, but you paid for it because if we got to replace the wheels or do some type of container maintenance, that's a cost associated with that. So so that's something we could think about. Because we have to look at realistically in terms of if we have to replace it or do something, there's a price attached to that. So it's not unusual to have that.
So maybe $1, $2 extra a month on our, is that, I mean, I'm thinking the city's gonna pay for the trash cans, but then there's a maintenance or a rental fee.
I think, there's some maintenance and upkeep. I think the smarter way to do that, if the overall, the monthly goes up $1 or $1.50.
Yeah, like I said, however you decide to make it.
I think that may be the smarter way. But I think it's a great idea. Couple of questions though.
Yes, sir.
Sounds like y'all been thinking this through here. Okay, couple other
I have an
things.
answer, Chad.
Right. If
Yes, sir.
we were to move forward with something like this, couple of things. In terms of uniformity, that's what we're looking for.
Yes, sir.
Now, we started doing the curbside to the curb because we wanted uniformity. And the issue was when people got home off of work, sometimes folks didn't get home till 6 o'clock, so it's trash cans out on the curb. Some trash cans are in and the streets don't look uniform. So we said we wanted our city to be first class valet service. That was the idea of taking it from the side of your house and whatnot.
Yes, sir.
I don't want that to stop if we get new cans. That's number one. Number two,
Yes, sir.
do we outlaw non-city cans? The tin cans and stuff. Okay, so see, these are the protocols we have to put in place and say, listen, if you want garbage trash service, you have to use this can right here.
Right now, if somebody ride down the street, they wouldn't know where they at. Like they gonna see DeKalb, Atlanta. Everybody got different trash cans. Like like just from like maybe they neighbor, or like somebody they old house, they resident. Like like you'll be surprised like the different amount of cans I service on the daily. Well, my guys service on the daily.
And what you also can do is give. I mean, you can have the cans, whatever's on them, city logos on them.
Yes, sir.
But you can give them an option of maybe a different color city logo. For instance, same uniformity.
Yeah, like as far as like the process is like the way they like roll them out. Like I'm not sure like
And they have to be
it's just like they rolling like when they start stamping them.
Okay, second question.
Yes, sir.
What kind of warranty are on these cans? And is there an extended warranty?
It really has no warranty. We are the owners of the cans.
Okay, so
The city be the owners.
as is no warranty.
No, that means if we roll out, it'll be net new for the residents. But as a wear and tear, the determination be made if we have to replace it, but there's gonna be a cost associated with that replacement. But we'll be the owners of the trash can. So they're basically renting the cans from the city of College Park.
I'm asking you in terms of the manufacturer of the cans.
Like
Oh, okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay,
Oh yeah, so like the way they made, like they're just like built like just for you know like you pay for the bill that you get. Yes, sir. You pay for the bill that you get. Like right now, like on average, our residents when they call in, I recommend they go like to Home Depot or Lowe's, and they'll go get like a 40-gallon can for $100.
Yeah.
And that can is like super flimsy. And as soon as my guys flip it on the truck 2 times, we break it. Now we got to buy it.
Okay, next question.
Yes, sir.
Would this save time?
Yeah. Like I mentioned earlier, like it'll go from like maybe 40 seconds of stop to like maybe 7 seconds. My guys roll it to the truck flip it, we put it back where it goes. Or like in your case, I gotta address that also. Like you say you want us to go get the cans, but if we have universal cans, one thing that the city may have to put inside the ordinance that the can can't be visible. So if the can can't be visible from the street, then we're gonna be going like in like certain places like
You
to
don't
get
want to
them.
go all the way.
Yeah. Like some people may put them inside their garage or something like that because they, because they don't want to have like a can like sitting in front of their driveway when they come in. Like so, that may cause like different issues as far as like ordinances and like uniformity. You know, like so I can't really speak on that, but just like moving forward, that's something we might have to consider.
So I have.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to interject here for a minute because I live in a community where our garages are on the back of the house. And we have a covenant that says that our trash cans can't be visible. So, and that is, we have to adhere to that, right? Our trash cans can't be sitting at the edge of the driveway because we have to adhere to that. That's our covenant. So you all are coming to our back doors, if you will, picking up the trash. I would love to have a city trash can, but we would have to be very thoughtful on how the trash is then collected, right? Because we also have that shared drive.
I'm not being facetious when I ask this question.
Yeah.
But how's it being collected now?
Someone is manually, you all are manually coming in and getting the trash, right? And so, again, I would love for us to have uniform trash cans because it does look different because everyone has a different type of trash can, right? Yeah. But, to the point in the discussion of changing ordinances, that's still not going to help a community like mine because our covenants are the rule in our community.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think this is a great conversation to have. But I think we need to dive deeper into it and really.
I have one more question.
But I wasn't finished. I was sort of still in the middle of that sentence. Because I think, one, I heard that it's your estimate's going to be like $150,000. We'd have to bid that out, I would think. And so there's a lot of things to consider in this. I hear lots of enthusiasm about it. And perhaps we can have a broader discussion at a workshop session. Councilmember Karn?
Last couple of things. You mentioned it would save time. So it wouldn't change anything for your subdivision at all. Okay, got that. So if everybody's rolling out, it's going to the truck and the machine does the lift. Does that mean pretty much no more pickup trucks picking up the loose bags because there won't be any more loose bags?
100%. And also inside my budget, I asked for another mini rear loader. And so the mini rear loader would bypass the CDL shortage. Because like when I did my interview, I can share it with you guys. I did an interview with a driver before. It was recently. Sam sitting on an interview. And the driver asked me, how could I like seriously ask them to come in and drive a truck for me? And they've been driving for 15 years. And all they getting paid is $1 more than a high school kid going to a warehouse. So she's saying a high school kid can get out of school, go to a warehouse and work for $1 less than what I'm asking her to drive a truck that she's been driving for 15 years. So like she just told me to make that make sense. Like, I couldn't, just being real, so I bypassed that with a CDL, with a non-CDL truck. So that non-CDL truck, anybody can drive who got a Class C license. Also, it'll have a flip on the back so it'll be compatible with the trash cans also. And so that'll eliminate the pickup trucks altogether. So those guys will have their own route. And so Hawthorne Station, I have a guy to go in there and just do his own route on that day. And then the village where you guys are down there, I have a guy come do that own route. So they'll have to figure it out. But as far as that'll just be their route right there for the day. And then they'll break off to sticks and leaves because we do all that in the same day. So after they do that, they'll have that one area. That'll be their area for sticks, leaves, debris. And that'll just be their area because they have their own truck. my aim is everything that rolls out can get trashed and compacted. Because like it makes no sense to have it on the back of a pickup truck flying around everywhere. When my guys got to drive up the driveway, go to the back of the house, find it, pick it on the back of the truck. We drive down, something blow off, and then we putting paper in their yard.
And then
We hear about that.
You get to the hub, and you gotta unload it again.
You got to unload it again, yes sir. So we're working 2-3 times.
The mini, last question. The mini, would it do the dumpster, a small dumpster?
Yes sir. Yeah, the mini gonna be compatible with the 95-yard carts a 95-gallon carts I'm trying to get. So like I say, every guy that drive a truck out the yard.
4-yard or 6-yard?
Yeah. So they just pull up to it, and it's just no. It's not a 4-yard or a 6-yard. It just do the 95 gallons, the one we're trying to get for the universal. So that way, like like I was gonna bring a visual, but I was like, this is not the place for that. But like my guys, like on a daily, they bench press a lot of stuff,
So the key is that the uniformity is not just so we can look the same.
No.
So it's going to help your drivers to identify what is trash, but it's also going to make it more efficient. Because even if they have to go back in your back in your backyard, they'll know that that's trash, and then when they get it, they're gonna be able to put it on that truck, and it's gonna dump it out,
Flip it, and they can take
it's
it right
gonna be
back.
seamless.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
what I'd like to suggest is that at least we look at including the amount in the budget. We know that you still have to go through the process, but we don't want to have to come back after the budget is determined and have to. Because this probably won't even make it. It's not going to make it on. Even if it makes it on a workshop right now, I think we need to look at. Do we have, or can we find the 150? We know 150,000 will do it, even if you can't get 26 trucks.
Yeah, the extra 100.
Can we get the extra, the 150,000 into this budget, and then we can determine. Because everything that we budget in right now is going to have to go through the bid process, right? It's going to have to go through the RFP or whatever it is. But if we don't have the money.
Is 150,000 sufficient? I heard that you would anticipate that there would be additional repair costs and the like.
I can speak on that. Like to get an actual ballpark figure, the guy just came in over. Like he came in over than what we actually would need because like it's just a budget process, things change. So like my quote is actually over. So like the cans may actually be, once we bid it out, maybe $51 a cart. But he put in extra money like just so we can hit the side of the barn because I needed an actual figure for my budget. I couldn't just come in and say what I needed. I had to have actual tangible numbers and actual things to show you guys. And so he put something together for me, and then he made sure that he told me that he came in over. So like we'll have enough money to cover any kind of like unforeseen expenses.
All right, Mr. Hicks, Ms. Hammond, do you want some time to?
We do.
All right.
We'll
Okay.
take a look at it.
Okay. All right.
I'd like to make a question.
Councilmember Gay and then Councilmember Carn.
The only thing I would add is that we do a public hearing so that we appear transparent because people need to be able to support it because you regulate more than just a can.
Yes, sir.
What it sounded like to me.
So if it's not in the can, you can't pick it up. Is that the kind of deal? You have to pay extra for other stuff, kind of a situation?
I mean, moving forward, we will be able to get to that point, but like right now, like our people are like our people.
But this
so
is streamlining a lot.
yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, like that's moving forward, like in the future. But right now, like just trying to tell our people that it won't work. We got to make sure we take care of
Last thing I say, doing the math on this, you're talking about 2,500 cans. 2,600. If you go another 25,000, I would say you might want to just go in and get 3,000 cans for a couple of reasons. Number one, they're going to be more expensive next time you need replacements. Number two, even with the houses, the 2,500 houses, we're still mostly rental. They're rentals. So some of them going to walk. At the
They're
end
going
of
to
the
get
day, when they
charged
move-
too for walking with them.
Well.
It's going to sign an
but
agreement
here's the
that they're
thing,
renting
though.
them.
That's why, with us having our power department, a lot of people can leave us holding the bill and connect with Georgia Power wherever else they want to. So we got certain things that make it easier to, but getting the extra 500, at the end of the day, it's going to cost you more next time you re-up anyhow.
Yeah. You get everything with initial contract. I'm pretty sure it'll be cheap.
So,
It's not a perishable product.
Madam Mayor, I think I concur. I think this is an awesome discussion, but I think we want to kind of have a public hearing about it so the citizens can kind of have some input on it. And then Cynthia and I will get together and have a sidebar and look at the money for it.
Sounds like a plan.
My suggestion, Mr. Hicks, is that we still work to put it in the budget. Because it's in the budget, doesn't mean, we still, I mean, if you have a public hearing for it, but it's still not in the budget, this is about budget right now. There's several things that we're going to put in this budget that are all going to have to be voted on. And some of them will end up being involved in public hearings. I think if Councilman Carn is saying 3,000, I want to stick with the numbers. 3,000 cans at $61 will cost $183,000. Whereas 2,600 cans will cost $158,600. So I think really the key right now for us while we're in budget is to look at, can we put this in the budget, at least so that when we get to the point of it going on the agenda, public hearing, at least we can tell the public it's a budgeted item. And we're not trying to find money at that time.
Can we give staff an opportunity to figure out how to make that work?
That is exactly what I'm saying right now. What I'm saying right now is if we can look to see.
We'll take a look at it.
Okay.
All right. Page 2.
Sorry that took so long. That conversation was very, very important.
I'm trying to help my
I'm
guys.
glad y'all hear me out, yeah.
I'll fight for you, brother. You make sense.
Moving on to page 3 and 4, because that's just totals. Question on 53, 7,000. On page 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Spent 10% of that?
Yeah, that's gas. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's gas and oil. Like they get calculated by whoever buys the gas and oil. But my trucks use they come in and fill up half a tanks every day. So I'm pretty sure I'm way past $10,000 in gas and oil. Like I want to make sure I pay my contribution on that. We usually have like key fobs the way we can track it. But at the end of the year, I guess I don't know how you calculate it, but and then my DEF, that's only calculating for my DEF. That's only diesel exhaust fluid. That's $10,000 alone. That's only that. So none of this counts for the diesel that we use.
Ms. Hammond, is there a true up at the end of the year on that line item? But even in 2025, there was less than $60,000 used.
I'm gonna need to look into that and then get back to you guys on that one.
Okay. Any other questions on page 3 or 4? Councilmember Arnold, did you have a question? We're not in the transaction report yet. Moving that way, though. We're going to page 1 of it right now.
I'm going back to page 2. My computer locked up. I did have a question on 52, 61, 40, and 52, 61, 70. So the dog pound fees, the reason. Okay, is that the agreement with Fulton County? Okay, all right, okay.
Yes, ma'am. I just increased it because I had a conversation with the lady. She was saying everything was going up, so I wanted to make sure I
Okay,
was
all
accounting
right.
for that. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And is that also true for the contractual services?
Contractual services go back to the welder. When I did it, the welder retired on January 1, and to repair a can, it's almost more expensive than it is to buy one now. So the welding services, we just contract out for broken steps and stuff like that. So we've been contracting that out. And additionally, it's gonna be a one-time fee of $75,000 for efficiency study inside of the contractual services. That's what moved up.
All right, thank you.
One of the fields of study at Promise Career Institute is welding.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
would be interesting to see. I mean, and these children will come out with certification in that area. I'm just wondering about a partnership with that. I mean, of course, they won't be long, they wouldn't have been doing this forever, but we may be able to identify some future welders or some part-time welders. So
I'm always open to the youth.
yeah, Council Mayor Pro Tem utilized a promise for his trash cans, right? The basketball cans, yeah.
Moving to the budget transaction report. Questions on page 1? Moving to page 2.
540, 4,300, 52, 6130. I'm going to stay on my soapbox with this. I believe that we should still allocate that $1,000 for bereavement to a nonprofit. So just before it gets said by somebody, I'd like to just say I'd like to save that and keep a pin in there.
Noted, ma'am.
Okay.
Additional questions on page 2? Moving to page 3. Page 4.
Line 540, 4,300, 54, 7680. Now, this particular sanitation container replacement, this is for the sanitation, the cans that we have throughout the city. Is that what that is? Or, yes, it is.
Like, yes, ma'am. Like we were speaking on, like the cans rusting and like things of that nature. So
Right.
a lot of the times, like it's just best to get new cans. And I've been replacing apartment cans with 8 yards because it just makes sense to put the biggest can I can out there. And so yeah, so and
Glad
then,
to see that.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks.
You know, the overflow issues that we still sometimes have out there, the apartments. So the 8-yarders, you're gonna go more exclusively with those?
Yes, sir. My aim is to every apartment to have an 8 yard. Like it's just the most capacity they can have. So like if anything happen, like with a truck, anything get behind, that we can always make sure they got an extra capacity.
Well, in theory, I guess, so to speak, just like if we do this residential can deal, if you need 2, you can buy a second one if you got extra capacity. You know, if you got,
Apartments aren't charged like that. Apartments are charged by the door. And so, like, whatever they got, we got to make sure we take care of it. Yes, like, as long as they got like enough dumpster pads, we got to make sure we got enough clearance for them.
Okay, so you never have a dumpster pad where you need a dump 2, would you?
Yes, some apartments require 2. Like, if it's between 2 buildings, they'll have a pad big enough for 2 dumpsters.
I just see some of the areas where we need that.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like if they have the room for it or anything like that, we can put it down. But like lately, code been on it. Like so, like I want to make sure I'm in compliance on my end also.
Yeah. All right.
Any additional questions on the transaction report? Moving to the supporting documentation.
Yes, I noticed that on Exhibit C of the supplemental documentation that you're decreasing your sanitation staff by 6.
Sorry, actually, like yeah, I'm decreasing the welder, but the 4 temporary laborers, like we don't have that anymore. And so yeah, I'm trying to decrease the labor. I mean the welder, and then put 2 more boots on the ground and get 2 labor positions. Like that'll make more sense, like for what we got going with the operations. Like we can like spread out, and if we get the mini truck, those guys can carry on their own route and like take the load off my guys that we got going already.
Okay, and so that explains also how we have the decrease in the salary operating number, which was on page 1 of.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, I had my sanitation coordinator job and the welder job. They stayed open pretty much all year. Okay. But I just hired a sanitation coordinator. He just signed on the other day, so okay. I have a supervisor now.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So despite those reductions, does that translate into it'll be cleaner out there. I guess.
It's not an actual reduction. We never had well, we had them a long time ago, but since I've been in sanitation, I haven't had the seasonal laborers. And the supervisor and sanitation coordinator are one position, so that's why it's a minus right there. And then the welder, that's another minus right there. Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, I'm just trying to do what makes sense for what we got going on a daily basis.
When we come to public works, this is where my concern was when we raised the minimum wage, the hourly wage for salaries, because you all were impacted, I think, the greatest as a department. And it's my hope that as we do this salary study and this compression, that we get this right, so that we can encourage persons to stay long-term, as you were talking, Mr. Anderson, but also to pay our people, to value them more in their pay. So I'm looking forward to that happening. I was just concerned when I saw the decrease, but now I understand that those are positions, because I don't want to see us losing positions. If anything, we need more.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
Okay.
Agreed. Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
I had a question about animal control.
Yes, sir.
Is the animal control personnel adequate for citywide?
Yes, sir. Yes and no. Like in the evening time, he does a lot of overtime, but it's always sporadic. And so I actually looked into trying to look into a part-time person for the evening time, but I just couldn't make it make sense on a daily basis. Like a lot of the times, Mike doesn't get calls in the evening, and so I was just trying to just weigh my cons, and I asked him how you feel about it. He said it's not wearing on him too much. He said he good.
It wasn't so much his wear and tear; it was more how responsive he is to the city, from taking animals to Fulton County to, I'm getting complaints that our animal control I've had myself going and taking dead animals on the weekend in my ward. I don't, but I'm saying, I just think we should look at best practices for other similar sized cities.
I want to add.
I think Mr. Anderson was going to respond to that, but if you.
That's a very good point, Councilman Gay. There's a similar sized city in Florida that I came from. It's called Gulfport, Florida. They actually had 3 people, and they had 2 animal control people full times, and they had a part-time admin person. And the reason being because they also did marine pickup. When there was, let's say, some dead fish or something like that, because it's a coastal community, one person would go out in the boat and get things too. They also would help out inside the city. And so I do appreciate, because me said talked about this, and he made a good point. And he said right now he just don't see the need, but I wasn't aware of the complaints. So this is the first time I'm hearing about it. And so I will take a hard look at that.
And I don't mean direct complaints. What I'm saying is, it's coyote season, there's feral cats, that's taking the animals now to Fulton Industrial. It's weekend, and I'm just saying, now you have more people acquiring pets, and we have no enforcement on a lot of the ordinances. I just think you need to look at.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, yes, sir.
Councilmember Arnold.
Yes, sir.
So I am actually getting complaints. Mr. Hicks is aware. We seem to have a community off of Godby Road, Jones Circle, where we have dogs that are just running around, and it seems like every time the animal control might gets there, they're gone, or so. I don't know what we need to do about some areas. I know we had an issue with feral cats in my neighborhood, and the residents were complaining to the HOA. So we do have a little animal problem. Jones Circle. You can see Mr. and Miss Taylor about it.
Well, one of the issues I've been having in my neighborhood, haven't seen too many dead fish. But when did we stop dealing with stray cats? When did that stop? Because I get a lot of that.
Feral cats is it's a thing in Georgia, like, you know, like as long as they're spayed or neutered, like, so Mike, Fulton County don't take cats. Like, he can't just like collect all of them and take them down to Fulton County. Like there's more like of a county, like, of a county issue. But the thing on Jones Circle, like, yeah, we like Mr. Anderson and I, we went out there and sat out there for a while. Like, yeah, we went out there and sat out there for a while for ourselves. Yeah, like, so yeah, like that's just like a kind of a unique situation over there. You know, like, yes, ma'am, but like I do agree that it should have been handled. But as far as like the cats are a unique situation.
But what if they're not spayed?
And then like the policy for him to like catch them and get them spayed, to tell you the truth, and then release them somewhere else.
Well, I mean, we used to handle cats at some point in time, and a lot of some of these apartment complexes have got just overabundance going on.
Yeah, the police station having an issue with cats right now, also.
So
Yes, sir.
We just decide.
Looks like the cat's out the bag.
All right.
Well, we gotta cover that.
Oh yes, sir. No, I agree 100%. So yeah, we'll get I might get right on solutions for that. Like I try to figure out like a creative solution.
Yeah, that's just the questions that come up with some of my managers.
It is my understanding that in Fulton County, cats are allowed to roam. That's just what it is, because...
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean in College Park that has to be the case.
No, sir, I agree with you. I agree with you. No, I'm just, because when I heard that, I was like, really? And so that's what it is. But we'll see what we can do, because there is a nonprofit, I guess Missionary Zeal is their cat lovers.
Tri-Cities Friends of Kitties.
That's what it is. Thank you. Yes.
They've had some conversations about trying to help control the population.
And there are plenty of friends of dogs too. I mean, I'm sure friends of everybody. But at the end of the day, we got to respond to our residents' requests. And apartment complexes are concentration areas for cats, and they couldn't be spayed, because every time I turn around, there's more cats. More cats, yes, sir. So I like to look at something. I don't know if we get them all, but I didn't know we stopped dealing with cats at all. We just stopped. So it's just something to look at.
Sure, we can take a look at it. I think some of the conversation we can continue to have via email.
Okay,
and get some
all right.
results.
And just so I'm clear,
If you can bring us back to.
I'm sorry, Councilman Gay, just so I'm clear, you have a timeline you want to get back with you in terms of, I just look at it overall and just, okay, thank you.
All right, so any other questions on the supporting documentation? Hearing none, we'll move to the Stormwater Utility Fund. Thank you, Mr. Hand. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Shit, I need one of them.
Good evening, Mr. Cotton. How are you? All right.
Say your name for the record.
Page 1 of Stormwater Utility.
Say your name for the record.
Oh, Raymond Cotton, Highway and Street and Stormwater Superintendent. Hello, everyone.
The sidewalk man.
Questions on page 1 of Stormwater Utility? Moving to page 2. And any questions on page 3? Moving to the budget transaction report, page 1.
Raymond, do we have somewhere in this budget in terms of upkeep of like grate repairs and stuff like that, or is that streets and highways?
Grates.
Yeah.
Yes, we right now due to the account with Lowe's, we got several catch bases that we build in place. About not getting the labor, the 2x4, we can't frame them up and we can't pour them because we can't get material. Ace Hardware don't have lumber, plywood, 2x4, 2x6s. So right now we having to find at our location, try to find something to make something to be curves now. And we just recently got the concrete company back on track to order concrete because we've been going to Ace Hardware to buy a pallet of concrete and mix it by hand.
Yeah, we got 4 concrete manufacturers in the city. We don't.
Tell me about it.
No, don't have a shortage of concrete.
Well,
You gotta buy concrete in the store.
What it is, before Tim Battle left, I set them all up, 5 of them. But if you don't use them all at a certain time, by not spending no funds, they'll drop you. So we're trying to use like Walker Concrete, and then we'll go to USA. We'll try to go to Ready Mix. At least try to give them something to go around. But if you just stay with Walker, and never use the other one, they'll drop us. Then you got to re-register back over again.
So you got service contracts with all of ours locally?
Yes.
It's not like a bid, you pick one.
Yes, they're in the system. US Ready Mix, Walker Concrete, I think Argos, because they're in College Park. We prefer dealing with them than going out to like Walker or Thomas. I got Davis.
So how do we deal with one instead of buying out the store? I mean, small stuff, I guess. I mean, they have a minimum amount.
Yes, it's a minimum of 2 yards.
Okay. Well,
that you have to
sometimes
order.
You have to buy a bag.
Right, you had to be able to get a truck, it's got to be a minimum of 2 yards. But we just doing a small cut, like a utility, go out and fix a water line, damage the curb. Then I would just get some bags and they frame it up and fix it. Okay. But if we got to do damage sidewalk, maybe 300 feet, you got to order a truck.
Any questions on page 1 of the transaction report? Moving on to page 2.
First of all, I want to thank you, Raymond, for all you do. And I'm really happy to see line 560, 4250, 547770, the improvements in our storm sewers. Specifically, thank you for putting this in here. Princeton Avenue storm drainage improvement,
Yes,
very much needed.
Yes, ma'am.
In this year, and I see that you've looking throughout the city, but I'm definitely appreciative of what we're doing here. So thank you for putting that in
Yes,
here.
ma'am.
Additional questions on page 2?
So are there no storm drains in Ward 3?
So you was about to get out of here? Okay, see?
Yes, Princeton Avenue is in front of the FAA.
Oh, that's the FAA. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to make
That's a
sure.
yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay. Just want to make sure. Thank you, sir. I didn't know if it was on the other side. That's right.
I was storm drained at Herschel and Skyline. I was storm drained at Herschel and Skyline. I was just there today. Can that be replaced? Herschel Skyline.
The catch basin, on the corner. The catch basin on the corner, concrete.
The one where the car rolled over, not the.
Where I put the guardrail.
Yeah, that one.
Yes, that one. Yeah, we can look at that one because it was put in by Steel. That been put there for a long time.
I know. But
yeah,
can
it's
it be
going to be
budgeted?
modified. Yeah, we're going to
Can
do
be
it.
budgeted?
No, I can take it out of my regular stormwater account to fix it. Yeah, these are major projects. That's 777.
Okay.
Yes, these are major projects.
When they come up on the consent agenda, that's what they
Yes.
are. All right, so people understand. This is what we have on the consent agenda. When we have $1 million on the consent agenda, it's because we're doing work that we've approved in this budget.
We got a lot of collapsed,
Yeah.
Yes.
These trucks run over these curves, and I see so many of them collapse down that we gotta get on that because then that caused the flooding and everything
Right.
else. So I'd love to identify all of them and just figure out how we go systematically.
Yes. Good thing is you'll see our new sewer clean we just got out more. Because once we get caught up, right now he's doing my the EPD inspection around the city, so we meet our quota, so we can be approved for our inspection for EPD. Once that's done, they're gonna be out starting in the area, cleaning all structures underneath and everything.
I know you're not handling this department, but I guess you got the sidewalk story. Where we at with
For the sidewalk.
From earlier this year, the 700,000 and change.
City manager.
Can we hold off on that until we get to that?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions on page 2? Questions on the supporting documentation? Moving to the water sewer fund.
And then we'll circle back with an email on the question he just asked.
Yes. Power falls up under my highways and streets.
Yeah, it's highways and streets.
Up under T-spot. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Cotton.
All right, y'all take care.
I see you.
How y'all doing?
Evening, Mr. Dorsey. How are you?
All right. Antoine Dorsey, sewer superintendent for the water and sewer department.
How you doing tonight?
All right, how about yourself?
Questions on page 1 for Mr. Dorsey?
Yes, I do. Again, just, when we're looking at these numbers in 4,400 revenue. So my concern again is revenue because we base our budget on expected revenue. We are only at $7.7 million in revenue for this year. Last year we did $12.2 million in revenue. And unless we're going to bring in another $5 million in revenue, do we foresee $5 million? Because it looks like we've been doing about maybe an average of $3 million. I'm not even $3 million. We'd have to do $3 million every quarter to make it to that 12, but we are down now by $5 million. Is this another one of those things where maybe the lag?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's it. That's all I had. Thanks.
Additional questions on page 1? Moving to page 2.
Uh, 5240. What is up with the telephone situation? 5240? Is that number right?
I mean,
Mr. Dorsey, you don't have.
I actually looked at the detail.
Yeah, I don't put that in.
Yeah. They've been zeroed out in other places, and they came to water sewer fund. Mr. Hicks or Ms. Hammond, or I'm sorry.
IT gives us the number for. IT gives us the number for telephone services, so we budget that in each department based on their usage.
Mr. Glennon, I think this might be the first time that you've spoken, so could you identify yourself?
Sage Glanton. Yeah.
I looked at the detail and it was AT&T and I think Verizon, and I was like, what is happening here?
Yeah, so we call it the Power 5, the enterprise funds that pay for all of these services. Everybody else comes out of the general fund. So we're talking about water and sewer.
Gotcha. Okay.
We split that among all of them.
Okay, makes sense now. Okay, thank you.
So it's not that department.
Thank you so much.
Everybody should
Just
be.
part there.
Any other questions on page 2? Moving to page 3. $54,100. Where has that infrastructure been spent this year?
We'll get back to you on that.
All right. Additional questions on page 3. Moving to page 4.
Is East Point,
Agreed.
our rate still static there with East Point? I mean,
Councilmember, can you make sure that you're close to the microphone, please? Thank you.
we still in the same
With East Point,
$3 and some change?
Well, to my understanding, the bill fluctuated according to how much you use. So if you don't go over a certain amount, you don't get that discount.
Where we at now? I mean, ballpark.
That area.
385.
385 per 1,000 gallons.
And if we don't use that amount, I think it's
It goes up, yes.
Right. Okay.
So on page 4, the debt service, we've retired all the debt service as of this year. Is that what's reflected in 27?
The debt service.
Yes, this has been paid. That bond has been paid in full.
Okay, thank you.
Man.
I hear that every day.
Additional questions on page 4? Moving to the transaction report. Questions on pages 1 or 2, since there is one line on page 1. Moving to page 3. Page 4. Moving to page 5 and 6, because there's only 2 lines there. So if there's questions on 5 or 6.
Brian, let's make sure you and I and the water and sewer team circle back on this SCADA conversation.
Okay.
We'll circle back on it.
Questions on the supporting documentation?
Thank you again for all that you do. Your team.
Thank you, Mr. Dorsey. Appreciate it.
Thank y'all. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, thank you.
We're doing the most.
Say that again.
Most. This is the last one.
Okay, cool.
Questions on the most. We've got 2 pages.
Yes.
1 page of worksheet, 1 page of budget transaction.
Overall, we said,
Councilmember, can you please actually come closer to it? The court reporter's having trouble hearing you.
we got to spend this down pretty much. The goal is to spend it down all the way for the year, right, for the budget. just curious, how we did last year. I know we were trying to get some of these projects done. I mean, coming into June, we got a few more to go or eligible.
Well, actually, we have projects that's coming up that's being put on hold because we had contract issues with our on-demand. So we got projects that the most gonna get utilized. It's just our on-demand is being held up for contract reasons.
Is this what one of mine too, the sidewalks and?
Yes, well, yours is a great,
That's something-
it's a great area.
that's a different one.
We want to be sure. I think yours is separate, but,
Okay.
but just to make sure that.
Apologize. Yeah, your situation is unique, but I still told them to hold off until we do our due diligence. And that we're having a conversation tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow.
Because I got folk waiting on Rugby for some sidewalks.
We're trying to get the contracts right for our on-demand. We're gonna have that conversation tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay, Rugby, y'all hear that?
Questions on the worksheet or the transaction report? Hearing none, that is the conclusion of tonight's budget session. And we are finished at 8:44 p.m. We will see everybody next week, and we will do some more work.